Welcome to Newsmax TV. I'm Kathleen Walter. He's considered one of the country's top young conservative activists. Jason Mattera, editor at Human Events and a blogger, continues creating a sensation with his ambush videos of Democratic officials, lawmakers, and young liberals, including this one with Senator Al Franken.
Senator Franken, Jason Mattera, appreciate your remarks in there. You were awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I was wondering, which portions of the health care bill lower costs? Is it the provision giving $7 billion to fund jungle gyms?
He joins us to talk about his brand new book, Obama Zombies, How the Liberal Machine Brainwashed My Generation. Welcome to Newsmax TV, Jason.
Thanks for having me on.
Jason, you've become a big star in conservative media these days, and you have quite a following. Recently, Bill O'Reilly, who we also interviewed here on Newsmax TV, told you to tone down your act. How do you respond to Bill's suggestion?
Well, I take Bill's advice. He's been doing it a while, and Bill knows when you're in the heat of the moment, confronting a leftist politician like he confronts Barney Frank and others, sometimes it can get a little out of control. But, you know, Bill's been doing it a while. I appreciated being on his program, and I look forward to confronting more corrupt politicians in the future.
Let's talk about Obama Zombies. You've uncovered the behind-the-scenes story of the methods and tactics that you claim the Obama campaign unleashed on young culture to win the presidential election. You allege the Obama machine brainwashed America. Explain, if you will.
Sure. A lobotomy took place in 2008. John McCain lost the youth vote by almost 40 points. I mean, that was the biggest age demographic shift in presidential history. So for conservatives, they really need to have a wake-up call, because it's not just about losing elections, but it's about losing an entire generation of young people who are uninformed about limited government, personal responsibility, and free market ideas. Team Obama employed specific strategies and tactics to brainwash an entire group of people. They had students for Obama chapters, more than 1,000 of them on the college campus. They were micro-targeting young people in their college dormitory. They were on Facebook doing it. They were uploading videos to YouTube in increasing regularity. I mean, by the time the campaign ended, the Team Obama had uploaded more than 1,800 videos to YouTube, and John McCain barely scratched 330. It was a complete marketing machine, digital domination. The Team Obama was meeting young people where they were at, on college campuses and on the array of social networking forums that the internet has to offer.
Do you think that that so-called brainwashing occurred as Obama also was pushing healthcare reform?
Well, absolutely. Young people can be sold socialism, unfortunately, but you can't sell it to a generation of hardworking Americans. Young people, unfortunately, my generation, except for the men and women fighting overseas, we're made up of a bunch of spoiled brats who think we're entitled to everything. So when some cultic politician like Barack comes around and says, I'm going to pay for your college tuition, I'm going to provide you health care, I'm going to stop glaciers from melting, all these issues that we know cannot happen, young people are like, sweet, bro, you know, he's going to pay for my college tuition. He's going to provide me health care. And young people still support Barack Obama more than any other age demographic, even though his health care plan punishes them, redistributes their wealth from young to old, because now insurance companies can no longer vary price according to one's age. It affects people in my age demographic, and yet young people, still like circus animals, applaud this president, even though his policies are a torpedo aimed at their futures.
Jason, do you think it's possible to reverse the so-called zombification process?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I wrote Obama Zombies. To set the record straight, to show how conservatives are losing younger voters, but then to give a battle plan. And what I think is interesting is, and the GOP really does need to harness this, is young people crave choices and services that big government can never provide. Team Obama was able to harness the power of social networking sites and the power of the internet. And these are applications and programs that were all created through the power and ingenuity of capitalism, through free markets. So the conservatives and the GOP need smart messaging to young people. They need to say, why are you attracted to things like Facebook and the internet and music? It's because there's nobody lording over your shoulder telling you what to do. The world is a mouse click away. It's the ultimate expression of freedom. And oh, by the way, that's what conservatives are about, the ultimate expression of freedom and individuality and personal responsibility. It's the left that wants to lock you in a one-size-fits-all healthcare plan. It's the left that wants to redistribute your income. It's the left that wants to tax your carbon footprint, which is your energy production. Conservatives want to open up the array of social networking sites, the array of capitalism, the fruits of your labor. We want you to express yourself, and that has to be our message. Our conservative bedrock principles do not change, but the way we communicate them to younger voters must.
Jason, you just mentioned that young voters still overwhelmingly support President Obama, but do you think many of them, the American people, are beginning to wake up?
You know, there's some buyer's remorse. Even the highly touted Obama girl, she said her crush has faded. She's no longer promoting herself, her half-naked self on YouTube, talking about her love affair with Barack Obama. So there's some buyer's remorse, but by and large, young people still support this president by a 57% margin. I mean, I think that's way too high, especially when the majority of Americans do not support him, and his disapproval ratings outweigh his approval ratings. Again, a lot of that has to do with young people are still not yet out in the workforce. But when they start graduating college and when they cannot find jobs in the Obama economy, it's going to start to set in like, oh, wait, you know, the Uber swag, yes, we can campaign was pretty hip and whatnot, but, oh, I can't find a job, and that's what matters more to me.
Now, in the book, you lament that the mainstream media, with its liberal bent, was complicit in getting Obama elected. Recently on Newsmax TV, we interviewed Newsweek chief political correspondent Howard Feynman, who told us, and this was prior to healthcare becoming law, that the mainstream media was growing more skeptical of Obama. Do you think that the media's love fest with Obama is coming to an end?
Not at all. The media had a perfect opportunity to call Barack Obama on all the violations of all the promises he said about health care. I mean, we have 2,000-page monstrosity that just passed that no senator or congressman read for themselves, full of backroom dealings, full of corruption. It was not on C-SPAN like he promised. I mean, this was the linchpin of his presidency. He actually said during 2005 he would not pass these large items through reconciliation because it overstepped the constitutional process. And that's what exactly he did. The mainstream media, Newsweek in particular, they have prostituted their objectivity to get comfortable and cozy up with the cool campaign. In fact, they're a Newsweek reporter, as I point out in Obama Zombies, Darren Briscoe, who was reporting on Barack Obama's campaign during the 2008 election. He's now receiving a check from Barack Obama because he's working for his administration. I mean, that's what it's come to. It's a revolving door between reporters and the White House.
All right, Jason, in a recent survey, the Harvard Institute of Politics found that young Republicans are more energized and more likely to vote than their Democrat counterparts in the upcoming midterms. Will young Republicans and young conservatives be the difference in a sweep of one or both chambers by the GOP?
You know, I think it's very encouraging that young Republicans, young conservatives are energized and are looking to sway their peers into coming over to the conservative camp. But what I think needs to happen is a concerted effort on the part of the GOP to reach out to younger voters, to show them why conservatism is a much better option than liberalism. If we look at 2008 as a backdrop, there were 3 swing states that went to Barack Obama's column specifically because of youth vote: Indiana, North Carolina, and Florida. And the GOP cannot afford to get walloped again.
So if Michael Steele approached you and said, Jason, what should we be doing? What would you tell him?
A few things. Number one is you have to offer young people bold contrast to liberalism. No more liberalism light. Our conservative message will resonate with young people because they don't hear conservative ideas, so it comes across as bold, fresh, and new. Everything that young and hungry minds crave. The second thing is you have to be on the college campus. Like I said, Barack Obama had more than 1,000 students for Obama chapters throughout academia, and he was always on a college campus, and he is to this day with young people behind him. You have to have the vibrancy and the youth outreach effort that the left has employed for decades now. The third thing is you have to micro-target these young people with new media. Barack Obama was constantly collecting cell phone numbers throughout the campaign. He was organizing rallies and setting up call stations where he would encourage young people to come out to hear, you know, some celebrity endorsement. And there are celebrities on the right we can utilize and young people would be attracted to. Come to these concerts, register them to vote, help them get to voting stations, set up call stations where they can encourage their friends to come and vote. We need to be micro-targeting them on Facebook and YouTube and flood these markets with content that is interesting and cutting in its analysis. And probably the most important thing is conservatives can no longer see the pop culture front. Many young people are getting their news, unfortunately, from MTV. They're being organized and getting informed by Rock the Vote and Jon Stewart and Comedy Central. Conservatives have given up on pop culture, and we can't do it anymore because most Americans, not just young people, are getting their news through pop culture. So we need to infuse our ideas on those forums and not just think that everything's going to happen through Washington.
All right, the book is Obama Zombies. Jason Mattera, congratulations, and thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.
Sarah Palin's new book, Going Rogue in American Life, will be released on November 17th. You can be among the first to get your copy. Check out our incredible free offer for Sarah's new book. Just go to Newsmax.com and click on the top banner for this great offer. Act today.